Welcome to another edition of Today in Music. I'm Mike Alexander. How you guys doing? Having a nice Tuesday? I hope you are. We've got some exciting news. My favorite story of the day in the world of music, I have to tell you. I'm going to move this camera a little bit so it's less, I don't know. Where's the best place? I read this morning that Jay-Z was out clubbing last night, and he and his crew ended up with a bill that came to $91,000, and he left a tip for his server of $11,000, which is amazing. Although, of course, it's, the modern age, the internet, trolling. People are already throwing shade because he left less than 15%. But I did read that his server was very happy with the 11 grand. Not a bad day's work if you're a waiter. Other news, Radiohead announced a tour today. They're going to be out on the road late this summer, primarily in the Northeast. But, it's always a big deal when they go back on the road. And what else? New music that's just come out. Brandi Carlile, one of my favorites. She's kind of a folkie from Seattle. And her new album, I would encourage you to listen to it. It's a bit of a departure from her usual sound. It's almost a theme album. It has to do with forgiveness, and it's a little relevant to today's age and the Me Too stuff. It's worth listening to. I wasn't blown away as I usually am out of the gate with her music, but it's pretty good. Speaking of Seattle, by the way, I read earlier that on this very date, February 20th, back in 1959, Jimi Hendrix made his stage debut at the age of 16 in Seattle at a synagogue, specifically the Temple de Hirsch Sinai. Go Jews. Anyway, that was sort of interesting. That was 59, so that was, holy Lord, 60 years ago, almost? If I just did my math right, I'm sure I didn't. Yeah, it's like almost 60 years ago. Holy Lord, I'm old. Other new music that's come out in the last couple of days, Aaron Carter's got a new album, David Cook's got a new album. I don't know if you guys care about those guys. They're both sort of teeny bopper acts who have now entered the uncomfortable age of, I'm too old to appeal to the 20-somethings, but I'm still not really a relevant artist to older people, so whatever. You might want to check those out. I won't. The number one album in the country this week is Justin Timberlake's Man of the Woods. I suspect it will not be there this time next week. But right now, if you look at the top 5, there's a lot of bounce off the Grammys. So you see Ed Sheeran is back in the top 5. Bruno Mars is in the top 5. Inexplicably, the soundtrack to The Greatest Showman is in the top 5. And, we'll see what comes up next week. Oh, and Migos, a band that I had not heard of, honestly. A hip-hop outfit out of Georgia. They have the number 2 album in the country behind JT. So I haven't listened to it. I have no idea if they're any good or not, but clearly they have an audience. What else is going on? I guess that's it, really. I mean, not super exciting week in music as far as new music coming out. There haven't been any really big, concert announcements or tour announcements, and certainly not to rival a couple of weeks ago when the Spice Girls said they were getting back together. I thought Radiohead was kind of cool. But that's pretty much it. I'm going to be heading back into the house, watch a little more Olympics, and we'll be paying attention, of course, to whatever the performers use as their soundtracks. I don't even know if they're skating tonight, but definitely enjoyed it last night, the ice dancing. Lots of Coldplay, and again, a great night of television, a great night of sport. That's it for Today in Music. I hope you guys are having an excellent Tuesday, as I said, and I will check back in with you guys tomorrow. Take care.